Did you know something's interesting about this? Remember years and years ago in Russia, they had what they called Chernobyl accident, where it was contaminating the waters and all. Did you know that the word Chernobyl means wormwood? And some people tried to say that that was the fulfillment of this. That's not the fulfillment of this, but it is a similar event. It's poisoned. It's wormwood. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. Verse 12, and the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and night likewise. Have you noticed all the thirds so far? Verse 13, and I beheld, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, and this is the first time you're going to hear an angel preach. He's not going to share the gospel, but he's going to send a message. And he says emphatically, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpets of the three angels which are yet to sound. In other words, you ain't seen nothing yet. What's getting ready to take place, this angel sends out and says, guys, this is going to get really bad. And what begins to happen is quite amazing. We start off in chapter 9, verse 1, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. Now, everybody stay with me in this for a second. I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to what? What does it say there? Him. This is a personage. This is not a star like you would see normally. You remember when Jesus said he held the 7 stars in his right hand? Remember back in the Old Testament where in the book of Job, God says that the stars sang when God created the earth? What do you remember what that's referring to? And we'll read here tonight where Satan drags in his tail 1/3 of the stars. What is he talking about? In all cases, it's referring to the messengers, the angels. Here is an angel. Watch this again. The fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. Now let's stop here for a second because this is the first time we've been introduced to this location, the bottomless pit. Now this is going to sound kind of bizarre to some of y'all, but did you know the bottomless pit, according to the scriptures, is the center of the earth? This is where the scriptures tells us that hell has its location. You say, that, how could that be the bottomless pit? How many know the earth is round? How many know that there's not a bottom to something that's circular? When they're cast into the bottomless pit, the scripture says, the earth opened up and they're cast into the bottomless pit because there's no bottom to it. Matter of fact, I saw a science show talking about what happens if you could get inside the earth and it would pull you into it, the gravity would pull you into it, but once you got into it, it'd push you out the other way. And then it'd pull you back into it. It would be nonstop falling. Nonstop falling. And the guy was an atheist that was talking about this. But it's very interesting that the earth opens up and this star, well, let me show you what's happened. He's given a key. Well, where's he go with this key? Well, he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by the reason of the smoke of the pit. The earth opens up, folks. Now, this is going to sound kind of bizarre. Let me just tell you right up front. If you don't like supernatural things, you're going to think this is freaky. But according to the scripture, when this bottomless pit is opened up, the skies are affected by this. The air around our globe is affected by this. As a result, the scripture talks about this earth of ours experiencing quite a phenomenon of darkness. Let me read on what it says in verse 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. And unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. Now, I don't know how many of you understand what he's saying there, but scorpions have a little bit of significance if you're around them. If all of a sudden somebody dumped a big 55-gallon of scorpions right now, how many know they'd have power over you? Well, this is a terrifying power. This is something that's going to have power, but watch this. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any trees, but only those what? Men, which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Now, we've already been told who has this seal, but these locusts are released on the earth, coming out of this bottomless pit. Hell opens up and pukes out these demonic creatures. Watch what it says. And to them was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented. Watch this number, 5 months. Remember that. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days men shall seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. There's not going to be a cure found for what they do to man. If you've ever known anybody who's been stung by a scorpion, you understand what it can do to you. It's excruciating pain. It will literally cause a person to go into convulsions, and they'll just horrid results. This is what the scripture says happens at this point. Now, you haven't even heard all of it yet. This is just the opening up of this, and out comes these creatures. Now, I want to stop and say something right here. I know this is going to get a little strange for some of y'all, but it says that the shapes of the locusts were likened to horses prepared unto battle. And on their heads were, as it were, crowns like gold. Now, they didn't have crowns of gold, but it was, as it were, crowns like gold. And their faces were the faces of men. Now, I'll show you one description. I've seen this artistically drawn out, and it actually comes from a cartoon series that Disney put out, and it says they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth was as the teeth of lions. What you see there is a series that's no longer on TV years ago called Gargoyles things. The gargoyles. Now, it tells us that about them, they had faces like men, hair like women, teeth like lions. They had breastplates, which were the breastplates of iron. They had sound of their wings, so they have wings. It was the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like in the scorpions, and were stings in their tails. And once again, it mentions this, their power was to hurt man for 5 months. Now, that's the second time we've been told a particular amount of dates. Now, anytime you see the scripture repeating itself like that, you got to pay close attention. And I'm going to share something with you that's going to sound quite bizarre. In the cartoon Gargoyles, it stars a very interesting little guy, or big guy. Actually, his name is Goliath. And his counterpart, which what used to be a friend, was Demona. And if you take that it spells demon A, okay? Say, well, John, that's kind of stupid. Why are you bringing the